Before that, I would like to thank Mr. Zhang and Ms. Mimi for giving me this opportunity to be here. And I'm also pleased that we have our Academy Award nominee, Ms. Renee, with us today. And I'm eagerly looking forward to her speech. I love the docu-series that she made, and I just want to listen to her and why she made it, how she made it. So I'm thanking her for opening our eyes by educating us about these unsung Asian American heroes that people didn't know about. So let me just get into a quick intro. As William mentioned, I live in Maryland now. And the nice thing about Maryland is the first lady, Miss Yumi Hogan, is Korean American. So it's wonderful to see how Governor Logan appreciates and supports diversity through his Office of Community Initiatives. About 5 years back, some of us got together and we opened we started as a association called the Hunt Valley Indian Association. The goal was to provide cultural, educational, and community service opportunities. It's completely volunteer-based organization. Okay, we have several guests of all colors that have enjoyed our events, and you can look at the pictures here. I mean, we do a Diwali function, a fashion show. We were also involved in this with the Indian Americans for Hillary Clinton. 2 weeks back, we did a food drive for people who've lost their jobs due to COVID. We also support some religious groups and all that because we believe in equality and respect for all religions. And I think one of the guy who's in this picture is probably in the audience. So I'm just going to give a shout out to him. Hi, Devang. I'm glad you're here. Okay. So coming to the main topic, right? The reason why we are here. This is what is American Dream. So when you saw the series, we had Connie Young. She mentioned that this started in 1860s when these Chinese immigrants came as part of the gold rush. Of course, they were late. I mean, Asians are notorious for coming late to all parties, right? So they ended up working in the railroads. But the thing is, they all came with the dream of improving their lives. And I think the dream, we all have our own dreams and we have different dreams, right? Financial, some of us are here for safety, freedom, and some of us want status. We want like bigger car, a bigger house, and nice clothes and whatnot. But I think American dream is much more than that. It's something, I call it to be in a country where there's no bias, to be in a country where there's no discrimination. And that's why I said, look, colored lives matter, Black lives matter, and Asian American unity is important. I mean, we all saw what happened, right? About 13 days back, this inhumane, cowardly display of white power by 4 officers, this has to stop. And it's up to us to make it stop. So why is this American dream important, right? Well, you looked at the series, you look at the docu-series, you see what happened. This is history, okay? Historically, Asian Americans in this country have been discriminated. 1870s, there was the anti-Chinese movement. And what was the reason? Because they thought they were a threat to the American labor, which they were not. They were out here to help. They were demonized, they were called Satans, they were burned, they were hanged, and they were killed. And the same thing happened in 1942. Japan attacks. Well, okay, that's fine. The 2 countries were at war. But what happened after that? American citizens, 110,000 Japanese Americans were incarcerated. And remember, 2/3 of those were US born. Think about that. 2/3 US born citizens were incarcerated because a foreign country attacked America. This has to stop. Same thing happened in 2001. Okay, there was a terrorist attack. Granted, that was bad. It shouldn't have happened. But who suffered because of that? It was the Muslims, it was the Sikhs. There's Islamophobia. People were killed over a terrorist attack. Citizens of America were killed because of that. And now you see that in 2020, the COVID, it's supposedly Chinese. I mean, who calls it a Chinese disease or a Chinese virus? It's not Chinese virus. It's a disease that started, right? Okay, I agree, it originated in China. That doesn't make it Chinese virus. So when our Asian American reporters try to ask the leader about some questions which they're doing their job, they don't get fair treatment. This has to stop, because racial discrimination is not what we are here for. So now the question is, how do you realize your American dream, right? And this, I think, is a pretty challenging part, because our American dream is constantly evolving. Okay? There is no one answer to say how would somebody just realize their own American dream. Uh, I had some of the thoughts. I mean, these are some of the things that I have seen that have worked, and I just wanted to share those with you. So the number one I feel is Asian American unity. We have to be united. Look, if we are united, we rule, we win, we have the power. And if we don't unite, somebody else has the power, and they decide what happens to you. So this is my call to you guys: unite. Okay. Second is community service. And you may say, why is community service important? Look, a lot of non-Asian American immigrants, that's what I call them actually, they don't know about us. They just see the skin. They see the color of skin. We need to show them who we are. We need to connect with them. We need to show them that we care. It's from inside, we are all the same. And that's what we want to show them. Okay, then that's, I think, done by community service. I'm not saying community service only within your community. I'm saying community service for everyone. The next thing is communicate, right? I mean, well, Asian Americans have issues communicating. I mean, we have our own accents and whatnot, right? My daughter still make fun of me. Every week I get like, Daddy, that's not the way you're supposed to say it, right? That's fine. But still, go out and communicate. Okay? And now we have social media, right? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I don't know what else kids use these days. So there's something called TikTok or whatever, right? Use these tools to communicate and show what you are doing, so people around you get to know you and they realize what you are. And the last one, which is most important, I think, is to be the decision maker. And when I say decision maker, I mean you be the person in charge. You go and capture White House, you rule the White House, or go and capture the state, become a senator, become something, become someone, either at state level, at a county level, school level, or PTA level, any level. Go out and become one. Now, I know not everyone can become that, right? But look around you. You will find people who are capable of doing that. Go out and support these guys and let them become the community leaders. Just wanted to briefly talk about the American dream from now and moving forward, right? This election year is very important. This is the first time we have the most South Asian candidates that are running for election. Okay, there are 28 plus that are running for Congress, running for state, they're running for local races. And this is just the South Asian candidates. I mean, think of adding the Asian Americans to it, and this list would explode. Look around, find who are these guys, find out about them. And if if your values align with their values, go out and vote. So in conclusion, I wanted to quote before I conclude, let me just summarize everything, right? So you know that what your American dream is, figure out what your American dream is and see how it is maturing. Okay? And you probably agree now that history has taught us a lesson that why we need to have that American dream and why we need to unite. And lastly, I hope you've also figured out that unless we unite together, somebody else will rule us. So if there is one thing I want to convey to you guys, if one message that you're going to take home tonight is that go out and vote in this election. That's the only way we can all be together. That's the only way we can actually gather some power. And again, I listen to Mahatma Gandhi, or I listen to his quotes, and look, you must be the change that you want to see in the world. If you don't, you can't change the world. And future depends on what you do today. Not doing anything is not an option. You have to do something. And lastly, I wanted to conclude this with a song. And this is a song, We Shall Overcome. This was a protest song and a key anthem during the civil rights movement. Dr. Martin Luther King, he used his words in his final sermon. And then a renowned Indian poet, Girja Kumar Mathur, he composed this translation in Hindi. So I'm going to read in Hindi, but the meaning is out there. You can read what it is. And if you know the song, or if any of my high school classmates are here because they have heard this song over time in school, I would request them to sing along or hum along. So here I go. हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. ओहो मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन। हम चलेंगे साथ साथ, हम चलेंगे साथ साथ, हम चलेंगे साथ साथ एक दिन। ओहो मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन। All right, guys. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the webinar. God bless you all.